Hi Aries, this is Amanda Nardozzi. Thanks for joining me here. We're going to do a reading for April 29th to May 5th. So that being said, we're going to do a free flow channel and we're going to dive right in and see what the energy read is for this week. As always, connect with your guides, your angels, loved ones on the other side, your spirit team. Connect with Connect with your heart, get seated into your intuition. I'm hearing immediately soul growth when I pull this card. Page of Pentacles is the focus of your tarot. So the Page of Pentacles, I usually ascribe pentacles. That is typically financial, material things. This is things in the physical, but I also see the Page of Pentacles being skills, gifts, talents. This is also, to me, spirituality. So pentacles with the page, especially being like growth of some sort, because pages are the forever student. And with pentacles, and again, spiritual growth is like clicking in here. So we're just going to go with the channel. There's some type of spiritual growth moment that you could be having here that could be the focus of all of this. So you might feel that there are challenges presenting themselves at this present moment in time, and you're just not really sure how to navigate it. Or your intuition. I see your intuition's there, but it's almost coming up as like a little, like a little niggle. It's like it's like a little tiny worm that's like wiggling in the dirt, and you're kind of sensing that something's there, but it's almost like you're not really sure how to move about the landscape, right? Which is interesting because you have the Five of Pentacles and paralleled with the King of Swords. Now, with the Five of Pentacles, it's almost like we're stuck in this mentality. I'm hearing like I have to do more or I have to do too much. And it's almost like, are we positive that this is too much, Aries? Are we positive this is a lot? This is something that it's almost like, I'm not going to say this is type of energy where you're like, okay, buck up, buttercup, but it's almost like you know that your intuition is guiding you to make a decision that you're like, like you feel like it's the good move. You feel like it's the better move, but it's almost like your mentality towards it needs to shift and change, because it's almost like this next step, this next phase is giving you what you want. To some degree, it's fulfilling some aspect of something that you want along the grand scheme of things going to your manifestations. So it's understanding that just trust that. There's something that needs to take place before your full manifestation unfolds. So Aries, what they want from you is to almost kind of like, with this mentality, is with the King of Swords, when it's parallel. The King of Swords, I always say that as of lately, especially the King of Swords has been coming through with the message of acting on clear logic, clear thought, clear reasoning. He is standing on his throne for a reason. He is sitting there with clear intentions, a clear vision, and he he didn't get to this throne by twiddling his thumbs and like, throwing shit at the walls. You know what I mean? Like he, even if he felt a little divisive over something, the kings know, in any of the suits, any of the kings know that sometimes decisions need to be made because life isn't perfect. There's a duality present. So even though there are some things that aren't feeling 100% great, or they're not perfect, and I don't mean feeling from an intuitive standpoint. I mean like, sometimes we have to, like, for example, in order to transition to a new career, for instance, we might have to hold on to the one that we have for a little bit, just to give time for that manifestation to take place, or just so that we can get all of our ducks in order before we can make the transition that we want. And it's almost like, I for whatever reason, I can't help but feel like Spirit's saying you spread your seeds already. You put the seeds out there. They're giving me like an image of you taking everything that you've wanted to plan, all of your manifestations, either through spells or ritual, or even just speaking prayer or spells too, but just sending them out to the universe, or putting at least a little bit of action and intention behind things. I see you having already done some of that, and then you're just waiting for things to grow. I'm hearing like you're waiting for a response from the universe because you're putting the effort out, and I see you, like, for whatever your manifestations are, you are putting, some of you put out an initial intention, like you lit a candle. I'm seeing candle magic. Some of you lit like the manifestation thing, and you're like, okay, I'm waiting for this opportunity to come to me. And it's almost like you are proceeding as if you are staying open, and you're almost like collecting experiences. Like I see you, like if you were looking for dating, for example, if you're looking for like the right person, like I see you actively going out to spaces and being open to potentially meeting people. Like that's the type of energy I'm interacting with here, is being open and being in the spaces to receive, and then putting out your intention or putting forth the effort to get those things, right? But it's almost like you're intuitively, you understand that it might not happen yet, or it's like it's not going to happen like a week from now, for instance. Like, obviously, we want it to happen tomorrow, right? We want it to happen today. This was supposed to happen yesterday. There's this feeling of wanting it to happen. But it's almost like it may take a little bit longer than you thought. So things are going to have to happen in the interim. And it's almost like you feel this. I feel yourself settling into this, like learning to be okay with that. This is one of those spiritual growth moments of like understanding, okay, this might be like a temperance type of deal where we're going to have to just exhibit patience and only time will tell. And then this is the growth that you will experience. This is that rebirth that you will experience because you have death. And with the death card, you have parallel the Two of Swords. This is that crossroads. This is that decision that you're making. So with the death card, this is quite literally closing the book on a... It's so interesting. So I usually, when I say death, it's closing the chapter of something. So when that slipped out, and I actually saw it right as I said it too. So it's interesting because it's almost like you're closing a book on like a certain mentality that you've had throughout like the majority of your existence. Like I'm seeing like this mentality. I'm hearing something about breaking a cycle of like thinking in like the world is happening to me, or oh, I have to put myself in this situation to lead to this thing. Some of you have been doing some journaling or some type of work, so you'll know what I'm talking about if this applies to you. But it's almost like this energy of like, gosh, like I feel if I know I have to do this situation, but I feel really beat down from it. And it's almost like spirit wants you to kind of reclaim your power or learn how to reclaim your power in this situation, because there is a way to do it. But again, it feels more of like it's in the mentality. And I like with the death card, I see you closing the book on this old mentality and you are opening the book to this new mentality. And it's almost like that new mentality is what's going to be necessary to make your manifestation come true in the future. I don't know exactly what you guys are trying to manifest, if it's a situation, a person, a dream, like of like a dream of like a career change, or like bringing some type of spark or intuitive something into fruition. But it's almost like, you know, at this crossroads, like this is going to be where you make that change. But the change that has to be made, yes, might be an external change, but it's almost like this internal change has to accommodate this external change so that this cycle does not repeat itself, if that makes sense. It's almost like, oh, well, I'm stuck in these loops of not manifesting this thing that I want, but it's because your mentality might not have been changing with your action. So when you are actively moving through and you're saying, okay, well, I'm choosing to take on this next chapter, I'm choosing to take on this thing that doesn't 100% feel the greatest, but I know I have to. It's almost like your mentality has to change, but still be open. It's almost like I'm still open for my manifestation to come to me, even though you are making what appears to be, I'm not going to say it's a step back. Again, it's fulfilling something that you want or need, Aries, but it's almost like that energy of, you know, your mentality is changing, not to accommodate it, but your mentality is becoming stronger. It's moving beyond this Five of Pentacles. So let's see if there's anything else to be shared from your oracle decks, so we can get into this. That is a very specific message, Ari. Some of you have been really focusing on your soul growth, and it makes a lot of sense. We had that solar eclipse. We have that full moon in Scorpio, which for me was a doozy. I don't know about you guys, but we have lay of the land, ancestral wisdom. So I had said something before about breaking these patterns. I do feel like this is something that's like it's been happening throughout your life, and it's almost like something that you've learned. And this is one of those things that you're breaking out of. You have ancestors working on the other side to help. I'm hearing like they're trying to help ease this part. Like I actually see them working with like some type of DNA strand. This is the symbol that they're showing me. And it's almost like this is something that maybe your parents, your guardians, this is somebody throughout the family line. These are people that have struggled with this, which is why they're on the other side helping you learn this, because it's almost like when we go to the other side, we've probably learned this in another lifetime, but we are never being exposed to something. Like we are always exposed to the same lesson more than once, so that it can really incorporate, so that like we can see different assets of the same lesson, or different facets of the same lesson, right? And it's because it's like that in our life too, where we are presented with the same thing again and again, and how much we have learned will determine what we do when that thing presents to us. And then that helps our soul growth. That helps us move forward, right? So it's almost like your ancestors, you know, they know what they're working with. They know what they're doing, even if in this lifetime they exhibited a maybe exhibited that pattern or they exhibited that lack. It's almost, I'm hearing like a lack of freedom. There's like a feeling of a lack of freedom here. And that might relate to whatever this cycle is for you. So for some of you, it's a lack of freedom. I'm hearing that for some of you, it's a lack of inspiration. And maybe it's the both of them tied together. But for whatever the case may be, it's almost like, again, they're working on it. And it's almost like in other lifetimes, they may have overcome this, but it's still something that they are studying. They still have to take the strands of this lesson and kind of, again, work it into the ancestral line. They will probably come back and learn these lessons again, not in the same ways or with the same exact patterns, but they might have to approach it from a different context or like a different view in order to fully learn the scope of it. And that's why you're working on it ancestrally as a team, right? So let's see. Healing is a lifelong and a many lifetimes worth of stuff, which is why I will always say healing is great, healing is important, and awareness is important, but it's not, oh, it doesn't always have to be the focal point of our life. You also have Fire Guardian, ignite your passions. So I just said something like this might relate to some of you for your passions. Some of you may have to stay loyal to your passions as you go about whatever this crossroads is. Some of you might have to be like, okay, well, I know I have to do something, but it's almost, I'm hearing like some of you have to recover it. So like in the midst of all of this stuff you're about to do, in the midst of this crossroads that you're encountering, it's almost like you have to ignite your passions to move forward. Some of you, this looks like making the choice to pursue your passions. And for some of you, you might have to make the choice that where like your passions have to run parallel to it. Either way, it almost seems like there's an argument with yourself about whether passions even come into play. And Spirit's like, they do. They most certainly do. Follow your intuition and see how this comes up for you, because again, it's almost like you're exploring this pattern from a different context and a different lens than you have in the past. The times where it's been brought up to you again in the past, it's almost like it's been different. So now you have more knowledge. It's almost like I'm hearing like you're bringing more value to the table too. So for some of you, if your passions involve some type of hobby or craft or skill or something, some type of skill or talent, it's almost like you have sharpened that over time. So it's almost like, I don't know, I feel like you've been in the workshop your whole life and now you're bringing it to the masses, if that makes sense. You also have self-acceptance. So accepting yourself for where you're at, also accepting your decision. You might not know, some of you, again, may feel like you're taking a step back. This is not a step back. You are just meeting like one of the many wants that you have for your current situation, and that's okay. Some of you might be beating yourself up because you are not pursuing your passions as relentlessly as you would like. But you know what? Like they say, we are human beings, not human doings. You can't be in it all of the time. You can't be constantly you can't be in a state of being healed. Like we are always, because we're always healing. So it doesn't make sense, right? So they want you, Spirit wants you to experience joy. They want you to go about your life with ease. And if you have to make a decision that like doesn't feel 100% right for you for now, just know like it's only temporary. It's only, even if not temporary for you guys, it's only like you make the change, and then once you change your mindset, you'll be able to see the opportunities from there. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're changing your mindset to be quote unquote stuck somewhere in this choice that you made, because again, things are ever changing. Just keep that in mind. It might be temporary, but keep open. Be open, okay? You also have Forest Frolic Maiden. I acknowledge my inner child and open my heart to the joy she brings. Okay, we just talked about joy. They want you to experience joy, okay? And this is where like that childlike, that inner child comes out to play. So make sure you're playing with your inner child and trying not to take life so seriously. I feel like a lot of us are like, oh my God, I'm at this crossroads and it's do or die. I have to make this choice and it's do or die. Relax, okay? It's almost like I feel like some of you are like it's either you're not clear about the way forward and it's almost like there's like a pressure, or like you're feeling the pressures from the universe because it's like you're not quite in touch with your intuition and it's hard to see. And I feel like for others of you, you're in touch with your intuition, but you're like confused because you're looking out and you're like, I feel like I know what path I want to take, but I can't help but feel like I should be taking this path, or that things would be like if I just exhibited hardship through this one particular path. Like spirits, like you don't have to like crack open the book and analyze all of the pages and look to the past and try to like make notes in the margins. You don't have to do that, because it's almost like life lessons, soul growth, they come up from experience. They are ingrained in time. Okay? So keeping that in mind, it's not something that like, oh, if I study it, if I look back at my journal, if I pay attention to the specifics, maybe I can crack the code so that I don't have to do this anymore. You cannot escape soul growth by scrutinizing past experiences and actions and beliefs and patterns. You cannot, I'm going to say that again. You cannot, it's almost like you can't skip it. You can't skip it. You can't just finish it by bringing awareness to it. Incorporating comes with more experiences. Sometimes awareness is key. Awareness is an important step, but you can't just figure it out by looking back. What is it that you need the most right now? Gratitude. Fill me with gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle wherever I go. And again, this is partly to changing your mindset. You are closing the book. You are closing the whole book on how you used to think before. And I'm hearing like you're about to ride the waves and you're going to ride it with style. The best way to ride this wave with style in a way that benefits you, benefits the people around you for your highest good, is to hang on to gratitude, hold it tight, never let it go. This is something where if you, again, this is like playing in your inner child and trying to express gratitude for not the things that you have already, because again, it's almost like we're not stuck in place. We're not just exhibiting gratitude towards the things that we have and then that's it. Okay, we're not changing anymore. That's not, we don't say that as an excuse to stay where we're at. We use that because gratitude, like you are not here on this earth to suffer with this Five of Pentacles. You are not here to think about your situation or think about life in an awful way. Okay, Aries, you are meant to be here on earth to, yeah, experience that pain and experience the growth that comes with that pain, but that gratitude, that joy, and that love and self-acceptance that you would be giving yourself through this gratitude, that is experiencing the other half of what you have a right to in life. And it's almost like spirits, like we want you to, we want you to grow to appreciate what you have because it's wonderful. You have things and it's wonderful. Like there are some things that's almost like doing things that you enjoy. Like for me, it's plant care. If I express my gratitude and I feel gratitude through my plants. When I connect with the energies of the plants, especially my rehab plants, I'll feel a rush of gratitude from them. I feel a rush of gratitude because my plants make me feel abundant. Even if like I'm not feeling like financially abundant, or like if I'm not feeling well supported in my life, I feel abundant at least in my plants. And that's not saying that I can't achieve abundance somewhere else in the forms that I actually want, but I'm recognizing abundance that I have and I'm feeling good about it because I'm like, these are the joys in life. This is what makes me feel good. And it's almost like this is just one of those things that I bring to you, of just doing things that you enjoy can help bring that joy in. And then lastly, you have 847, and I'm pulling from Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray. I always read these messages twice. Your current experiences are manifestations of past actions and intentions. Angel guidance is encouraging you to clear old sarcastic thoughts about yourself and your gifts from your mind so that you can cultivate experiences that lift you up to joy. What did I just say? Sometimes these messages are summaries. So again, I always read it twice. Your current experiences are manifestations of past actions and intentions. Angel guidance is encouraging you to clear old sarcastic thoughts about yourself and your gifts from your mind so that you can cultivate experiences that lift you up to joy. So, that being said, Aries, I hope this helps. That was your reading. If this resonated in any way, go ahead, like and subscribe. All the things that way you can keep up to date with me. I do weeklies, I do collective sprinkled in between, and I am doing personal readings. So, follow the link below to my website if you would like a personal from me so I can connect one on one. They do tend to get a little bit more specific, but I can't drop these general readings because I love what I do and I love connecting with the masses. So, that being said, I love you, I love you, I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.